There were so many noises happening. There's fireworks, there's a baby, and the worst of all, my mother-in-law.
How dare you? She's a nice lady!
Hello everybody, Happy New Year! Welcome to Film Fireside. I'm going to start this new year right by recognizing the past year and remembering all of 2020 because we love that year. We're just going to remember that one as long as we can.
How about new?
I'm going to count down my top 10 movies of 2020. Full disclosure, as you may have noticed, I have not posted on here in a minute. I have not reviewed all of these yet. I have seen them, of course, obviously. I have not reviewed all of these yet, but I will. This next month, I'm just going to be playing catch up. Award season was pushed back a little bit, but it's officially here, so I'm going to start making awards predictions. Going to start trying to rent some of those awards movies that I can, which actually goes into the next thing I want to point out. You may see other people do their top 10 2020 lists, and they'll be including some films that I won't be including. That may be due to the fact that it's not on the list. But also, I'm making a rule for myself. If I don't have access to it in the year 2020, it didn't come out in 2020 for me. While technically some films like Nomadland or The Father were released in 2020, I had literally no way to access those films. I mean, legally. I had no way to access these films, so they're not being counted as films for 2020. These films will be pushed to 2021, and I'll be talking about them next year when I do this top 10 movie lists. So, to just get going into this, I'm going to start off with my honorable mentions list. So the honorable mentions of 2020 are on my iPad, which is on the floor in front of me. Let me get that. I'm going to be listing 6 honorable mentions here. Coming in with my first honorable mention, I'm going to recognize is the movie Onward, Pixar's Onward. Great animated film. I love animated movies. I love Pixar specifically. Very well done Pixar film that I really enjoyed. Another film that came out, but I didn't see till like early October, late September-ish, was a film called The Way Back, starring Ben Affleck. My golly, that was a really, really good film. Didn't make the list due to it's just kind of a basic film. There's a lot of tropes in it, and I don't mind tropes in a film as long as they're done well. I mean, if I'm entertained still, no problem here. I have no problems with it whatsoever. Ben Affleck gives an outstanding performance, one of the best performances of his I've ever seen, really. So The Way Back, you should go check that out if you haven't already. My next honorable mention is RAINEY'S Black Bottom. That just dropped on Netflix a little while ago. Oh my golly, Chadwick Boseman and Viola Davis. Holy cow, their performances are fantastic. I'm really looking forward to reviewing this film in the next little bit. I have a lot to say about the film, and you can maybe get into a little more why it didn't make my top 10 list, even though I really, really liked the film. Next honorable mention is Palm Springs. Oh my gosh, a romantic comedy. One of the best romantic comedies that I've seen in a long, long time. Groundhog Day-esque type of story, but executed so, so well. You should definitely check out Palm Springs. It's on Hulu. Really, really great romantic comedy. Next one coming in, The Trial of Chicago 7. I really, really enjoyed this film. You've seen my review of this. I've definitely reviewed this. Didn't make my top 10 list for some of the things I was mentioning in there. My last honorable mention that I will honorably mention is Tenet, Christopher Nolan's Tenet. Great, great film. Remember how I promised I was going to do a spoiler review of it and never did? That was a big no-no for me. But you know what? Life happened, and it's here. So, without further ado, here are my top 10 movies of 2020, coming in at number 10. The Vast of Night was I have reviewed this film on the channel. It was a fantastic, just fresh film for me. The new filmmaker, I'm now a huge fan of his. I think this was his first film he'd ever made, and I very much loved this film, and I want to see and support this filmmaker because I want to see more from this filmmaker. The Vast of Night is a sci-fi tribute done really, really, really well. It's a very short, simple, quick story, and definitely check out Vast of Night if you haven't. It is a fantastic film. Coming in at number 9, we have Wolfwalkers, animated movie that dropped on Apple TV. My golly, I was floored. I loved this film. It's really, really pretty, really beautiful, beautiful film. Animation is just gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous. Such a sweet, simple story with great, great characters that are really fun, lovable, and likable. A fun villain, just a really compelling story that you're really into the whole time. I was, anyway. I was very intrigued by the events happening. It's a very unique, fresh type of story that I was really excited to see, and really fun animation that I really, really loved. So Wolfwalkers is a fantastic film on Apple TV Plus. If you have that subscription, try and check it out. Coming in at number 8, we have The Hunt. I raved about this film. I love this film. It's stuck with me still all this time. I think about it often. It's a very unique, very interesting film. A fun, wild, crazy take on the wild political division that exists within our society today, and I love it. It's very poignant. It's very fair. It's very honest. It's a great film, very well written. Betty Gilpin steals this performance for me. She takes all things about this film and just knocks it out of the park. She does a fantastic job with this film. Definitely go see The Hunt if you haven't seen The Hunt yet. Coming in at number 7, we have... This is another film that I saw at the beginning of the year that has just kind of stuck with me. Bad Education stars Hugh Jackman and Allison Janney. Hugh Jackman plays a fantastic character, gives a fantastic performance, as does Allison Janney. Based on a true story, I really, really like this film. I hold it in high regard still even now. It's been a while since I've seen it. I'll have to go back and probably watch it again, and I'll probably like it even more the second time I do. But as of right now, this film really, it sticks out amongst the rest. Fantastic film, Bad Education. Go watch that. At number 6, we have The Five Bloods. You heard me rave about this film. I really, really liked this film when it first came out. Having sat with it longer, there are some like plot holes and plot inconsistencies that I thought about after the fact, but I can't really knock those too much because I think that'd be kind of petty. It hasn't really made the film any less in my mind. I really love this film. This film stuck with me. It really, really stuck with me. And please bless Delroy Lindo at least gets a nomination. I don't know, the Best Supporting Actor category is a little weird this awards season. We'll get into that in my awards predictions video. But Delroy Lindo, I think, is in talks. He's in my predictions for getting nominated at least. He may not be in there for winning. I really, really loved his performance. He's the one who took it to the next level. And also, Chadwick Boseman, too, kills it in this film as well. Chadwick Boseman had a fantastic year. It's nice to have his last year of performances be his best, some of his best work that he's ever done, and rest in peace to him. And it sucks that we've lost Chadwick Boseman. And that actually puts a new spin on that film now that Chadwick Boseman is gone. Wow, actually, I haven't watched it since Chadwick Boseman died, and I'm just now realizing that probably might make the film a little different. I'll have to go check that out. So, if you haven't seen The Five Bloods, go see that. It's on Netflix. Going at number 5, I literally saw this movie last night, and I loved it. I was in love with it. It is Promising Young Woman. Oh my golly, this film just was something else. It was so beautiful. This film is making some headway too with like awards season. I'm not saying it's like not gonna get nominated for like Best Picture and stuff, but it might be. I don't know. I was really blown away by the film. It's a fantastic movie and performances are so good and it's just so well written. This director, I forgot her name. Give me just a second. Emerald Fennell wrote and directed this film. She's a fairly newer filmmaker. She has such a good eye for just composition and production design. You know, the cinematography in this is great. It's just such a good script. The script is so well done. You know, I really, really enjoyed this film. I'll be doing a review of this later. I can go into that more specifically and give more details about that. But Promising Young Woman. Very, very good. Number 4, a film I saw 2 days ago on Amazon Prime that I was also blown away by is The Sound of Metal. This film is unlike any I've ever seen. And I love a film that makes me feel like I'm watching something so new and so different. It makes me feel, I don't know, I'm excited to be a part of the experience, you know, because it's something that hasn't really been done yet. This type of story had such the potential to just be a surface level, maybe even trope-filled story, but they took it to a level of just depth and beauty that I was very shocked by. It helped me consider things about this type of situation that I never have before. And yeah, wow, it's a fantastic film. Sound of Metal, it's on Amazon Prime. Go check that out. It is very, very good. On Netflix, we have... I'm sure you've seen my things you need to know before watching Mank. Go check that out. If you haven't watched Mank yet, make sure you watch that beforehand. Mank was a very, very, very well done film. Very, very well made film. For me, cinematography and the message of the film speaks volumes. I just feel very connected with the character of Mank through the whole time. I guess maybe that's just due to the fact that I agree with him more or less the whole time. But I really am connected to his struggle and the thing he's just torn up by through this film. And it's very, very well done, very well performed. I very much, very much Loved Mank, and you should definitely go check that out. That is on Netflix. Coming at number 2 is another Netflix film written by Charlie Kaufman and directed by Charlie Kaufman. You heard me rave about this film as well. It is called I Am Thinking of Ending Things. This is such a deep film, and some of you who watched it are hearing me say this, and you're like, boo, you stupid. That movie was weird and it sucked. I mean that that's valid. It's a very, very bizarre film, and it requires work. It requires effort to understand. It requires the audience to engage in a way that maybe you're not used to when you're just watching, a random film from here, there, or whatever. But it's definitely worth the effort to me, and it was a film that. This very rarely happens. When it ended, I felt the need to just start it again. And I did to a certain extent. I watched certain parts of it again just because I wanted to. And now I'm talking about it, I kind of want to watch it again right now. Oh yeah. Very, very good film. If you haven't seen it yet, please go check it out. It is a fantastic film. Coming in at my number 1 spot, my favorite movie of this year. And I'm so happy that it's my favorite movie this year because I wanted this film to succeed so much when I first heard about it. And that is Soul. Pixar's Soul, starring Jamie Foxx and Tina Fey. Oh my gosh, I had no words for the film when I was done. I was just so in awe of everything I was watching. It didn't feel like an animated movie in sometimes. There's like a part in the middle where it definitely did, but at the very beginning of the film, it just felt like a movie. I felt like for a little bit I was kind of like watching real actors. You know what I mean? The animation achievements that Pixar has been able to accomplish over the past few years is just breathtaking. They are fantastic filmmakers, and I am so in love with the things they've been able to put out over the last little while. Soul it's the best they have ever done, and it feels like they have taken such a leap of quality over the past, even just from last year, it feels like, and they do this a lot. They keep doing this to a certain extent, and I am so happy with Soul, and it is such a good message too. Such a good message that was so important, and I think poignant even for the year 2020, at least for me it was. There's just so much beautiful about living and life to appreciate, and this just beautiful story allows that message to just happen to us. I love it. Soul is a fantastic film. If you haven't seen it yet, it's on Disney Plus. Obviously, make sure you check that out. That's it. That is my list. That is my top 10 movies of 2020. Please go to the comments and give me your top picks for 2020. It can be your top 10, top 5, top 3. Favorite film of the year 2020. I really want to know, and I'd love to get into discussion with you about it, so please comment on this video. Let me know your favorite films of the year. Thank you so much for supporting the channel through the year. It's new to me, this YouTube thing, and I'll get it right eventually. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please like this video. Thank you. Happy New Year. May it be so much better for you than the last year was. And may all good things that happen in 2020 continue to happen for you in the next year. Thanks so much. Love you all. Bye-bye.